Thanks for the work.
Press on today's video to find out about the entire storyline of the game we all love and enjoy to play. We are going to go through every single season, starting back from the season 1, so let all of your fantastic memories flood back into your mind, playing with your friends back in the good old days, and then watch until the very end, as you will realise things and see things that you missed in the moment. And in the video I'm going to go through the ins and outs of every single season, so like I did say, watch until the very end. However, if you have played Fortnite for a long time, you will know the storyline is rather confusing, and the theories that people come up with are immediately disproved. With the addition of Chapter 2 Season 5, we have gained a lot of storyline information. Using that and the past information we have got in the other seasons, and we can all come up with a good, strong base as to what has happened throughout all the seasons, concluding to the Fortnite storyline. Let's get into it. Let's kick things off with the 0 point. The 0 point is the thing that allows us to travel between different realities. To truly understand the meaning of this, we need to talk about the multiverse theory and why it's important and why it affects the Fortnite island. The multiverse theory states there is an infinite amount of universes other than our own, leading us to believe that all of the different possibilities and outcomes have already occurred, however just in a different universe. This even happens in our Earth, our reality. TV shows just like Stranger Things are fiction to us, however in different universes they could definitely be reality. So let's compare this to Fortnite and the 0 point. The 0 point is physically located on the Fortnite island, therefore we can call ourselves the hub of the universe, because everything that happens in the universe is because of the 0 point, and that is, like I did say, located on the Fortnite map. However, humans from a different reality discovered the 0 point, and they actually discovered and realised its full potential and power, leading to them to make an organisation called IO, or Imagined Order. And through a lot of hard work, the organisation were able to build a bridge connecting to the 0 point, evidently being able to travel into different realities and different universes, just like the one that was shown in Fortnite. And as we can see in the picture on screen right now, it is powered by dark matter. And the organisation hired agents to specialise in the 0 point and then do little tests on it as well. One of the first was Agent John Jones, and his first mission was to jump into the 0 point and then go to the Fortnite map and see what he can see and then report that back to the organisation. But as you can probably tell, going into a different universe will have a massive side effects. And the side effect to this one was, as soon as an agent landed on the Fortnite map, a snapshot or clone, by the way I will refer to it as a snapshot because we will need that later down the line, but every time an agent landed on the Fortnite map, a snapshot would be made of them. And Agent John Jones' one is now referred to as Jonesy. They are not the same person, Jonesy is just the snapshot. And as more and more agents were to land on the Fortnite map, more and more clones would be made of them, and they are now referred to as the default skins. And when another agent saw multiple clones of agents running around on the Fortnite map, they reported it back to the IO organisation, and the organisation decided to keep it to themselves and as a secret as they could be scrutinised. The organisation then began to guard the 0 point as they didn't want anyone knowing, and to be honest, they didn't exactly know what would happen if a snapshot entered reality. Since the Fortnite map is the hub, yes, there's going to be a lot of snapshots, however, there's definitely going to be damage done to the universe if the snapshot was to enter the same reality as the person they were before. To protect the 0 point, the IO organisation created enforcers, who would protect any breaches and deal with any breaches of reality. However, people on the Fortnite map seem to have no idea of their reality because of something called the loop. And here's what we know of the loop so far. The people staying on the island, if they stayed on it for long enough, their memory would slowly fade, become a new person and have a new personality. And the only thing we're going to know what would cause this is the massive storm of dark matter. It definitely has something to do with resetting the loop. The different snapshots of the agents had no knowledge on how to get out of the loop, as their memories kept fading and fading. They kept getting different personalities and started seeing each other as different people, even though they were technically the same person. This is why we have so many skins. Every skin can be restored back to a default skin. However, the different skins are just different personalities. Then after that, the people then started to lose memory of the 0 Point and the IO organisation, leading them to believe they have been there for ages, and they started to build their own life, building houses, parks, farms, and as time passed, even cities. Then as the snapshots carried on with their life, the IO organisation continuously sent agents to spy on the island and take notes. Life was going great. However, people started to notice a meteor in the sky, and then every single day it would get bigger and bigger. Then some people started to receive a mysterious message saying SOS, and they don't want us to know, and these messages were sent in Morse code. The meteor then rained down onto the island, causing mass destruction, Dusty Depot taking the worst hits. Investigations then realised it was more than just a meteor. People then started to realise that there was mysterious crystals left where the meteor did hit, and these crystals held anti-gravity inside of them. They also found that in the core of the meteor itself there was a pod, which was actually perfectly sized to hold a person, meaning the meteor had a passenger. The government then built a research facility in the crater itself to study literally everything, and the person inside of the pod was able to escape, simply being known as the Visitor. The Visitor was a part of the mysterious group called 7, and both of the organisations, the IO organisation and the group 7, both had different desires. The IO wanted to keep the 0 Point, however keeping people in a loop, and the 7 want to free the people in the loop, however that could mean the realities do collapse. Who do you guys actually think is good and bad in this situation? Let me know in the comments. After the Visitor escaped the facility, he started to make plans to disable the reality on the island and to make the snapshots realise they are in a loop and that they need to escape. However, he did this by starting off to make a rocket. He took a rocket off a movie set, and then using his own knowledge and the actual rocks in the meteor itself, he was actually able to turn it into a normal rocket, and then this led to the government giving out warnings to every single citizen. It turns out the day everyone dreaded was finally here, the rocket launch. It went straight up into the sky and then arced back down towards the island. At which point the Visitor said these two things.
0 Point possibility on. Set coordinates.
Then 4 lasers started appearing and they pointed directly to the centre of Tilted Towers. Then the boosters fired up and the rocket went straight towards Tilted, and then a massive boom was heard across the entire map, and the rocket disappears into a crack just above Tilted. Then after returning, it created a massive crack in the sky. So what actually happened? Looking at what the Visitor said, it seems as though he created a mini version of the 0 Point in the rocket, which enabled him to travel, which are now actually known as rifts. The massive crack in the sky seemed to be messing up reality on the island, as objects were beginning to disappear, and objects from different realities began to appear at different times, and these times were random. Just like the Der Burger, it was teleported to in the middle of the California desert, and that was actually in our reality. After a researcher visited the Der Burger, it was then abandoned. Later on, a trespasser wanted to see it for himself. His name was Drift, and he decided to actually vandalise it, as he was a street artist and he wanted to, try whatever street artists do. But at this point, the rift was acting up very, very much. It not only taking him and the Der Burger, but it took an entire desert resort and a Vikings village as well. At first, Drift was very, very shocked and confused, as I think we all would be if he was teleported into a different dimension. However, local residents befriended him, and as he spent more time in the loop and in the island, he lost all of his memories of his past self. And at this point, the IO was in panic mode. Not only was it a snapshot of their own agent, but a real person was in there as well. Afraid that things from different dimensions would mess up the entire thing, they sent their own enforcers to capture Rift and take him back to his own dimension and take him back to his original life. However, Drift managed to hide, and at this point the rift in the sky was actually very unstable, however it began to shrink. However, when the rift was actually at its smallest, it released a massive bolt of lightning and made a cube of dark matter. And once the cube fully landed onto the island, it began to move to the nearest point of power, which was the 0 point, which at this point it was actually located at the bottom of Loot Lake. And obviously the cube wanted to get to it, so it went into the lake. Then as it went into the lake, it made a pool of dark matter. After it then turned back into a cube and lifted the entirety of Loot Lake. Then it started to travel across the map and landed at different ruins, which acted as a power source, and it enhanced, and once it did actually gain all the necessary power, it returned back to Loot Lake. By then it was able to blast and break up the floating island. The floating cube interested other parties, and then obviously a mystery robot called AIM started to actually observe exactly what was happening on the island. Eventually leading to it to take everybody off of the island and into the in-between. The in-between was when a butterfly rift came up to us, and then our character ended up touching it, and then it transported us back to the island. Whilst only seconds pass for us, it seems as though weeks pass for the island. From now, the island seemed to be at peace. However, on the horizon, a cloud of ice was getting even closer. And there was actually an ice kingdom coming, which held the Ice King and the Fire King, who both were basically at war, and the Ice King actually froze over the kingdom, freezing himself and the Fire King underneath it. He froze it that much that the Fire King couldn't even melt it. However, the Fortnite Island's climate isn't freezing, leading to the ice melting. To resolve this, the Ice King covered the entire map in snow to stop it melting. But it was actually really too late, because the Fire King already escaped his prison. Then he travelled to Wailing Woods, eventually bringing magma to the surface and creating a volcano, which then led to tropical trees growing all the way around it. And then obviously, if a volcano's there, there's going to be lava, and lava is very, very hot. So obviously, the heat from the lava and the ice counteracted each other, then the lava, or even the heat from the lava, was then melting the snow. The people on the island began to realise there was something seriously wrong under Loot Lake. And what they found was a vault. They had no idea how to open it, but what they soon realised was that it began to summon different keys across the entire map. After a while, all the keys were found and the vault door did begin to open. At this point, people were able to jump in, and this was the first sighting of the 0 point us Fortnite players have ever had. But what most people didn't notice, there was a desk with no one sat there. I'll get back to that in a second. But after everyone picked a gun to bring back, as everyone resurfaced, the Fire King had already had planned ahead. He erupted the volcano, destroying retail work. And hitting Polar Peak. Yes, Polar Peak is that ice mountain. And Tilted Towers. Now, going back to the woman at the desk, her name is Singularity, and she pitied the people as she was there to protect the entire island from this happening, but she wasn't there to do it. So then she used the power of the 0 point to rebuild Tilted Towers and named it Neo Tilted. But the people in Neo Tilted built a statue of Singularity. It was a token of appreciation for what she had done to help them. However, this would not last for much longer. It turns out the Fire King actually missed the kingdom itself on purpose, as he wanted to try and wake up a monster living underneath the ice mountain, and he did just that. The monster named Devourer woke up and broke out of the ice mountain, leaving massive footprints all over. The monster wasn't actually finished, as it was spotted circling around the island waiting to attack. To defend the island, a massive mech was built. It took around a month to be fully completed. However, the monster headed straight for the 0 point to try and get its power and, devour it to make sure that it could not be stopped. However, Singularity entered the mech and fought back. eventually killing the Devourer after an amazing fight. As of now, the danger has gone. However, that is about to change. However, Singularity did mess up. Leaving the 0 point unprotected and unstable is a very bad idea. The more it was exposed, the more unstable it got, led it to make a massive wave of energy, and it sent it across the entire map. And it also ruined the reality of the island as well. It teleported Dusty just before the meteor struck, and it was also bringing in other people from different alternative universes, just like a female Drift. She was brought into the FORTNITE island. Also, places from Borderlands were brought into the game, and at this point it was a complete mess. The IO's enforcers couldn't do much more. However, the workers and the agents kept working extremely hard. But as the island got even worse, the second member of the Seven appeared, called Scientist. It turns out Scientist was actually the visitor, however from a different universal dimension. Then a third one appeared, called Peridon. Notice how Singularity had the same bodysuit as Peridon. It turns out Singularity is actually a part of the Seven as well, the little snake. And it turns out she left it unprotected on purpose, to try and help the Seven reach their goal. All of the known members of the Seven tried to work together to construct their master plan. They started off trying to build a rocket just like they did in Season 4, and after they launched it, it went into the in-between. And in the in-between, they ended up duplicating it to make 7 different rockets. Using all the 7, they were able to break the time freeze at which the meteor was about to strike Dusty. And then it made another rift just above the 0 point, and the meteor and all the 7 rockets came out and went straight down into the 0 point. The 0 point could not hold them out. The 0 point ended up exploding and creating a black hole. However, they was actually able to recreate another map which had everything already built. The new map was made and the 7 went back into hiding. To explore the new island, IO sent a real team called Ego. These are not snapshots, these are actually normal people. The mission that was set for Ego was meant to be quite an easy one. It's meant to be a quick in and out mission. However, their plane crashed, so they had to carry on their observation by themselves. They also got people from the island to help them, and they created outposts on their way. However, there was actually a crime organisation called Alter. What was actually quite scary about it was the higher rankings of Alter, the organisation Alter should I say, seemed to be clones of the Ego. Essentially, they'd be fighting themselves. And one member of the Ego called 8-Ball set out to kill his counterpart Scratch. However, Scratch ended up winning. However, this led to Scratch starting to corrupt because a snapshot cannot survive without their real counterpart being dead. So Scratch started to slowly corrupt and actually became a glitch. As all this fight was going on, Midas was watching. Midas is a billionaire and he can turn anything he touches into gold. And because of his wealth, he is rich enough to hire spies to watch the fight between Alter and Ego. Midas knew everyone was being watched, and he also knew to break it he must get past the dark matter surrounding the entire island. To accomplish this, he needed two things, a distraction and a device. A distraction so the enforcers won't notice him when he's trying to do it, and a device that's actually capable enough to break through the dark matter. He hired Jules, who was a master engineer, and as the war between Alter and Ego came to an end, he actually activated his device, and it was very successful. For the first time ever, snapshots were able to escape the loop. The IO didn't know what was happening. Snapshots were being teleported in and out every single second. This was serious. They had to do something quick.
Wait. Hold on. It's not just a storm. What does that mean? It must be connected to the loop. There's no way we could have predicted that it would react this way.
So they covered up the bit that was missing with water. However, the water could easily flood everything, so everyone bought the no sweat insurance. After everything, Alter actually won the war. The island actually started to adjust to life in the water world, which was controlled from the authority, which was protected by huge walls. However, as the water levels slowly started to go down, life resumed back to normal. However, after everything seemed to die down, a rift appeared in the sky and Thor's hammer came down. Let's track back our memories to when the 0 point exploded and created a black hole. Obviously, when the black hole exploded, a lot of other universes wouldn't have been able to hear it. And that is, Galactus as well. He heard it from miles away. And he wanted to find it and feed on its power. And Thor came to warn the citizens of the island that they was in great danger. He then slowly lost his memory because of the loop, and however, he actually could see Galactus getting closer and closer to the island because he came through a rift that was a couple of months away. Thor then got a lot of his older friends from the other Marvel characters to come and help him defeat Galactus. When Galactus got to the island, he was actually feeding on the 0 point, but after a lot of fighting, a lot of hard work, Galactus was defeated. However, that is not over, because Fortnite there's always something new happening. The 0 point was actually being unstable again, and it was up to Jonesy to stop it. However, this got the attention of the 7.
What you need is someone escaping the loop. You need to get in there and fix it.
Understood, ma'am. I'm on it.
And do not draw the attention of the 7. Jones, are you there?
I just need to stabilize the 0 point and reseal the bridge, but not let anyone escape. Easy, right? Okay. Locate the best hunters across all realities.
Signatures triangulated and defined. Execute.
This better work.
Anyway though guys, there's the storyline up to now. That is Chapter 2, Season 5, that is the entire storyline. I hope you guys did enjoy. I know the video was quite a long one, so I thank you all if you have made it this far. Anyway guys, make sure to enter my 1000 subscriber special giveaway by the method like sub epic. I've been Ivy, and peace.
I got the mojo